Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah.
It's an amazing weekend.
I've only ever driven road cars around Le Mans, and which, you know, a lot of people haven't even done that. I did get to drive an Aston Martin on a test day around there and had a lot of fun. I got offered to drive in a race there this year, and I can't do it.
Really?
Yeah, in the Porsche Sprint Cup, I got an offer of a share of a Carrera Cup car in that, and I can't do it because it's too close to something I have to commentate on, and I wouldn't be able to get backwards and forwards. And it's like, well, that's hurting.
How often is that going to come?
I know, don't.
Talk to me, I'm a bad influence.
Earlier on, we had James Turner, who runs the 2.0 series. He offered you a drive. You know?
He offered us a drive in the short wheelbase car.
Yeah,
in his Paul Smith, the Stripey, as he calls it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's have you seen that?
Yeah.
When you open the door, everything's just
everything's Stripey.
So cool.
Old Paul Smith. I'm going to have a word with him about that and find out where we might be able to go. Maybe go and have a test of it first and see how I get on with it and give it a go. It sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. So these are absolutely the worst conditions for these cars. They're all ground effect cars. That means they're going to be pulling up a huge amount of water and throwing it straight into the windscreen of the car coming behind. Down the Camel Straight with 20-odd cars. 22 cars have come out of the 28 that we had on the list. It's Lendudis in the Mercedes-Benz C11. 1989 was my first year at Le Mans, so this is right in my wheelhouse. There's one or two cars that are all around that era. All of the cars are around that era. There's a couple of earlier cars, a couple of the little Spices, and some of the secondary class cars are from earlier on. But obviously, I was watching in those days.
Yeah, the Magnussen Tiger is back from 1986, but most of them are 1990. And the Mercedes, of course, that Criton is in, is a 1990 car. I'm not sure who drove that. I think there are 3 entries that year. I'm not sure who drove that one.
Oh, I think the Lendudis car is the...
I think Mauro Baldi maybe was one.
It was Baldi and Schumacher drove it at one stage.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't think it was at Le Mans, but he was one of the junior drivers, of course. I had that written down, you know, and I've left the
I will actually snap. But
because we had all that for the last time we saw it.
Yeah, it's got a great history. But obviously, not many racing drivers from Greece over the years, but Criton does a great job, you know. He's 65 years old. You know, here's the other 65 years old, he's in this Group C car, and he's winning races.
Yeah. The other thing we should say to these guys is thanks.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So he left these cars in the garage.
In the paddock.
This is the price of a small housing estate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it today. But look at the amount of cars.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a few non-runners, but fair play. The Sauber Mercedes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a fairly short list of those cars. The Nissan R90CK sitting in behind it in the classic colours. The red, white and blue Nismo colours. I mean, that visibility, our cameras actually make it look brighter than it is. And thanks to all of you.
Your sitting's so low as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget, you're on the floor and that spray. The guy who's on pole, happy days for him because he's got nothing in front of him.
Yeah.
As we saw in the Bell race.
We're still under the Cupra safety car's kind attention. The race time started as they rolled off on what would have been the formation lap, because obviously they're going at much reduced speed. I think they'll probably let them go for a couple of laps just to let everybody get their bearings on the track and where there might be puddles of water. These cars and puddles of water don't mix very well, to be honest. As I said, they are downforce cars. They produce a lot of that downforce from the floor, from underneath the floor. Therefore, they have to be run very, very low. And that means if you've got standing water, effectively what you've got there is an 850 horsepower boogie board at times. and you're just lifting all 4 wheels off the ground. And Nick, no matter how good your tyres are, no matter how good you are as a driver, if you've got no rubber actually in contact with the tarmac, you're not going to be able to control it.
No, you're going to be a passenger.
Yeah.
A bit. And if you think at the start of this race, if you're really third in row there, the spray coming off, you're going to be looking outside windows for that white line. You're not going to be able to see anything. The amount of spray that's been sucked off the track and then fired backwards. Yeah, bit of throttle. No, there's the call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a couple of cars. One of the Nissans, of course, is in the yellow from a Japanese organisation that sponsors cars at the moment. In fact, there's two of the from A cars in here. One of them is a Porsche 962. And I see Mark Dewis, a famous race and rally driver. From local to here, is listed for that. I'm not sure he is actually driving. I haven't seen him around. And also watch, starting in 10th place, Carl Mika, a Canadian.
Yep.
He's driving a Spice with DFV in it. He was fastest in the qualifier, in a private practice yesterday.
Yeah, Mark Dewes, so famous they named a mountain after him, Alpe d'Huez. No, they didn't. But they might as well have, because he was superb in anything.
Well, it was a factory Leyland driver. I remember he did things in Rovers and stuff like that, Mark Dewes, and lots of other stuff. But he was one of those. Not many real all-rounders that do lots of rallying. I noticed Nigel Greenshaw's doing a bit of rallying as well.
Yeah, he does a lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of crossover drivers. Kyle Larson's trying to do the 1,100 miles on Sunday, of doing the Indy 500 and then the Coca-Cola 600.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And you can't get much. I mean, yes, they're both on ovals, but you can't get much different to a DW12 IndyCar and then jumping into the Gen 3 NASCAR. And and we've had other people who've done rally. You think of actually, we had one of the cars out earlier on, didn't we? That Sebastian Loeb came and did Le Mans.
The greatest race rally driver of all time of this era, to called Vic Elford.
Vic Elford, he's the greatest all-rounder. Full stop.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Clark would drive touring cars as well, and everybody did in those days.
He did the RAC rally one year in a Lotus Cortina with a friend of mine called Brian Miller co-driving him. They were right up near the front until he managed to somersault it into a forest.
It was all going well till it wasn't.
Yeah.
That tends to be rallying. The Cupra safety car lights are off, and Crichton Lendudis then. Oh, don't overtake the safety car. I tell you what, he's a big tight there. Depends where the safety car line was. And in having to lift off, he gave an opportunity there for Olivier Gallant to get up alongside from the middle of the road, though, slightly defensively into La Sauce for the first time. The big backfire from the Mercedes. He goes wide and he's in the gravel. Got to keep it rolling, which he does do. Comes out in front of even Verclutre. And away, and a ball of spray is all you can see of the Nissan. It's gone. Oh my goodness me, drama, Nick Padmore, right at the beginning of the race. And you could almost see that coming. He almost looked like he got flustered getting a bit close to that safety car there.
He definitely got a bit flustered there. And you can see Olivier there, I need to get in the lead. I need to get away.
Yeah.
Perfect now.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, cheers for that.
Off and running.
Luckily the Saubers kept going, so that's good news. That.
Yeah, Olivier's racing. He's also racing Group C very successfully in Jaguars as well. Yeah. So it's a good runner.
In the second, that is...
Oh, there's a From A car.
And the From A car going through to third. So Lendudis has certainly given himself a dose of the heebie-jeebies there. And why wouldn't you, with all of that Mercedes power behind it? You'll notice that car is just plain silver. The only vestiges of sponsorship is on the rear wing end plates. They had AEG on there. And
they had different coloured mirrors.
Correct.
And he's got yellow. I think
that was the winning car.
Yeah, and I think they had red mirrors and black mirrors. Yeah. Same as Audi did, German colours.
Yeah, and in '89, the winning car had yellow mirrors, which was the 62 car. I only know that was my first.
Yeah.
I remember my first.
This is the next year.
This is the next year's car, correct.
So, and Kanduri's going well. Philip Kanduri in the pink car. It's raced Imperial at Le Mans by Manuel Reuter, James Weaver, and Stefan Askar.
That's Richard Mines' car in the pit.
Well, interesting story. That car had a turbo blow yesterday, and they went someone got some, managed to get a new turbo for it, and fitted it, and now it's something else's wrong.
The March was in the pit lane as well for George Caban, and I've had that happen to me before, even just on a track day. They didn't have the wiper tightened up enough, so it's just been flapping around, and that's what they were doing on the front of there. Nothing very difficult to fix, but quite clearly the wiper wasn't sitting on the spline, and I would have thought that would have been quite difficult even behind the safety car, Nick.
Nick, did you say that you are going to drive a Group C car at Le Mans?
He hinted.
Oh, you hinted.
I dropped that one in very subtly. Yeah, thanks for just repeating.
Okay, right.
Look, pulling over.
That is the Klaus Abelin car, the Dauer.
That's the Dauer chassis,
chassis car, and he started again. And also notice that the Peugeot did not start.
No, correct.
The Max Grenard car. I don't know if whether they had a problem with it, but anyway, there's the 21.
That's their spice. So it's actually a bit more than the mirror, the windscreen wiper. Oh no, they're still messing about with the windscreen wiper. Oh, they've had to take the front off because it wasn't the top nut that wasn't fastened properly. It's the bottom one. It's the whole linkage.
Someone's going to be very popular there.
Yeah. Well, look at the conditions here.
On such things, have major races turned? Let's be honest. It's always, as my dad would have said, the 30 bob piece, but the 50 pence piece that breaks. That we had WRT losing Le Mans because of literally a €5 piece in the throttle linkage. Now, they lost first and second at Le Mans. The car came through to take it in a LMP2 car, but that haunts teams, and it's just one of those things. How do you know if the windscreen wiper's working if you haven't had it out in the rain until you take it out in the rain?
Young Jack Fabi, you probably know Jack, do you?
Yeah, he's been in Masters for a while.
Yeah, he's moved. He's driving with Magnussen now. Yeah. He's moved that car way up the. He was not leading C2 yet. Carl Meeker is leading C2 in 7th.
Yeah, he's just put the fastest C2 lap of the race in.
Yeah.
Even in these conditions, how do you like a 3 minutes and 4 for the C2s and a 2:48 at the front of the field? I wish I could show you Nick Padmore's face, because he's absolutely loving that. I mean, this is a circuit, Nick, that, people say, when it rains at such and such a circuit, this is where you need to be careful. The problem with this circuit is, number one, it's 4 miles around. Number two, the weather comes in from such different directions that actually there are myriad places around the track that can catch you out.
Yeah, and you can see the weather coming in all the time. Obviously, it's getting a bit dark now, but it's changing all the time. And I've raced the historic Formula One here, the Lotus 77, quite a bit in the wet. and like one bit will be greasy, then real torrential on the other side, then dry as well. So it's just challenging, and I love that sort of thing. I actually find that quite peaceful.
Really? Because you're alone with your thoughts?
Yeah, because you're thinking about what you're doing. The track has this aura about it. I just love it.
So Nick Padmore with Andrew Marriott and me, John Hindhaugh, in the booth. Good to have your company. And wherever you're joining us from, with 31 minutes of this Group C race to go, Olivier Galland still leading out in the race, and pulled out a decent 2.8 second lead. Let's just revel in some of these cars as we have a look down. Second place car is the Yost 962, Yvonne Verkutra. And now what happened at the start? I think, Nick, it goes back before this to where Dudas was a little bit spooked by almost overtaking the safety car, and then he just missed his brake point.
But I think also it's difficult to get these brakes up to temperature.
Very good point.
Yeah. How wet, miserable, cold it is. So I think he's gone for the brake, and it's gone,
right,
and it's just run on.
Yeah.
There's not a lot he can do there.
Yeah. So these all run on the carbon brakes, do they?
I don't think all do, but certainly a good few do.
Right.
And it's all about that tyre temperature, the brake temperature, getting everything working, and part of that safety car warm-up lap is all about that, isn't it?
Now, are you a weaver or are you a pump the breaker in terms of getting temps up?
I need all the help I can get. You know, so that for me, the first few laps, just qualifying and the race, is so important. So if any advantage I can get, I want to get my head down and try and get on with it.
So this is our last race before the break this evening, and then we'll come back just after 8 with the 60s racing. Nick Padmore with us, as we've said. We were talking about him getting into this form of racing before. Approximately, Nick, how many race meetings are you going to now in the year?
I'll probably do about 25 a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Just with a mixture of my mini, the revivals, the Peter Show, the Masters. Just trying to make it all together, really.
And probably doing lots of track days and teaching people. Well, you're at a racetrack 3 or 4 times a week.
I am, yeah. Not as busy as Nigel Greenswell.
No.
You know, he's got a clone.
Yeah.
There's got to be more.
There's more than one of him. I think there are at least 6 of him.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm set to be at the track a bit more because my wife's going to start racing soon.
Is she?
Yeah.
How did this come about?
Well, she's always wanted to do it, and years and years I've gone, yeah.
Good for her.
And now she got her race license in sort of February.
Right.
And she's going to race Mazda Mark 1.
Oh, right.
Oh, in the MX-5 Cup. What a brilliant way to start.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that series. I do a lot of coaching in that when my customers come over and they rent those cars. So, yeah, my dad's been coaching now. I can't coach. So Dad's been coaching Claire.
I am not going to pursue that further in the interests of marital harmony. But I absolutely understand. It's in some ways it's a bit like parents and children, and it doesn't matter who your parent is, even if they're multiple champions in whatever discipline it is. You can't get coaching from them because as a child you're just not going to listen to your parent, whereas somebody else could probably tell you exactly the same thing and it'll be fine.
Just spotted that the timing's just changed. They've now put Kellener's in the car. So maybe Kellener started it.
Really?
Ralph Kellener's.
That was an early stop then.
Unless it stopped.
Doesn't
it stop?
No pit stop.
No pit stop
against that car.
Oh look, there's Fabi trying to. He's in that car, isn't he?
Yeah.
Young Fabi. Yeah. Jack Fabi. And that is the battle for the C2 lead coming to the line now. C2 was a brilliant. Let's do a little history lesson. C2 and C1. C2 was the LMP 675, or the LMP2, as Fabi goes around the outside into La Source and takes the lead of that class. Or only for a moment, they're side by side again. There was a bit more grip on the inside there with the slight camber that you have at La Source. So back into the lead for Patrick Dubory. It's fourth overall. Actually, I'm talking complete nonsense there because that's the 111 car.
Yeah, I think
so. That's Alexander Tran in the Spice, and Jack is in second. It is first and second, but first in the Invitational class and second in C2. But I'll finish the thought about the C2s. They were the LMP2s of the days to the C1s, and there were some very innovative designs. But who's that in the 69 with the rag? That's brilliant.
With probably 800 brake horsepower under his right foot. And
whilst cornering.
Just do the screen as well.
Whilst cornering, yeah. And you might look at the proportions of some of the C2 cars and think they look a little bit weird. The reason for that is they had smaller wheels. They were mandated. That was part of them being the C2. So they thought if you had smaller diameter and smaller width wheels, you wouldn't be able to use much power. Different engine regulations. But the windscreens were pretty much the same size and often used the same windscreen glass as C1. So it slightly put them with the glass house area, as it were. Pit lane is open, by the way, so we'll see some pit stops now. So it's slightly made the proportions of the car look a little awkward sometimes. But no doubt about them, those little C2 cars are proper racing cars.
Yeah, Spice, of course, had the most success.
Yeah.
But the Tiger was another good chassis.
Yeah.
But there was lots of chassis. All kinds of little people in Germany and France and Italy built C2 cars. Here's the XRL car.
Fantastic.
Well, that Japanese sponsorship and the pink colours.
Yeah,
It was a pink racing car that wasn't driven by women, because they tend to do that sometimes, don't they? But
notice as well that the ducting in the front round the front end to get air to the brakes, that's all been taped over. There's not a chance you can drive with that, can you?
Yeah, that would really ruin the race, wouldn't it?
Note also, drivers on the right-hand side of the cars.
Yeah.
And they'll be stick shift cars as well.
Yeah, proper race cars.
Yeah, proper race cars with 3 pedals.
Gotta do this.
Yeah.
well, that guy in there, Kaduri, he flies helicopters, I know.
So that's no wonder he could do many things at once.
Yeah.
Because flying a helicopter, you have to be able to parallel process and do different things with both hands, both feet.
Look at the body language of that guy getting out.
That's not good.
I've had enough of this.
Yeah, that's me done.
Yeah.
Right, that's the march.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been running properly. They were successful, particularly the old lobster claw car. You remember what was Red Lobster car?
Yeah.
Successful in the States, but they never ran well at Le Mans. And I believe, not sure if it's this March, but one of the March 85G or whatever, was actually designed by, the very first car was designed by Adrian Newey.
Yes, correct.
This is the Jack Fabi Magnussen car making its pit stop.
Magnussen's in the car now.
It's got a Buick engine in it.
Look at the lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Ladish.
Right, pits
as well. That's really cool.
Right, so pit stops at the moment, but out front is still the 83 Nissan from Ralph Kellner's now in the 962C, number 7 car. And we think Kellner's had started that car. James Thorpe out in 3rd place. It's just gone across the line. None of these cars have stopped yet, so these are real positions.
Yeah.
Mercedes-Benz, Paul Sitter, Lendudis in 4th, 5th for Patrick Duberry in the first of the C1 Spices. Kalmika is in the 2nd, and Lendudis into the pit lane. Lendudis into the pit lane is first of the leading cars to come into the pit lane in C2, led at the moment by Andres Josephson in the Tiger. That's C2A. C2.
There's Micheron coming up through the field that I mentioned that started at the back.
Yeah. And
what happened to the old-fashioned stopwatch?
Yeah.
Well, we have a rule in contemporary racing that it's not a proper race until we've seen being utilised in the pit in no particular order: gaffer tape, tie wraps, some kind of mobile phone as a stopwatch, and a torch, and a lump hammer.
Yeah.
And if we've got, that's the big 5. Never mind going to see the safaris and seeing the big 5. Those are the big 5 for Nick Damon. And once we've had them, it's a proper race. C2A car in the pit lane at the moment. And they're taking their time. These are timed pit stops as well, of course. This is the number 70 car.
But Jan's looking through the window. He'll have it on the dash, surely, as well, won't he?
What, the countdown?
Yeah.
No, that's all on the phone.
Oh.
And he'll get a penalty as well. I'm not sure what his driver grading is, but there will be a penalty.
He'll have his extra 20 seconds, I think.
Yeah. Just to help. So this is the Tiger.
That picture, that looks
Well, look at that.
2 Nissans.
Nissan together.
Yeah, that was one for the photographers. Here's Kellner's as well. So that was the lead car going past, I think, Richard Mains. No, he's in the pit. So which one was he going by then?
Look at the speed of that come through.
That must have been the Xavi Moron's car.
Yeah.
Xavi Micheron car.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah.
That is, there's some brave pills, Nick, being taken here, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And that looked really spectacular, that, didn't it?
Yeah, look at
pass around the corner, spray out the back, fair play.
Yeah, look at those rooster tails there.
Yeah.
Kellner's.
This is a wonderful story. This car's still being run by Just.
Yeah.
So this is the pit stop.
Here we go.
Now we think that's Kellner's who started the race in that car.
Yeah, see if Joey climbs out of it.
Joey, yeah.
That's his nickname. Right?
Yeah.
It's all to do with kangaroos. I won't go into it.
Probably just as well. This will be the last lap for anybody to come into the pit lane with any degree of certainty.
So
let's see who jumps out of this number 1 Blaupunkt car.
That's Kellner's.
Yeah, that's Kellner's helmet. Look, there is the just attention to detail. They've got a mat next to the car for the outgoing driver so he doesn't fall over, and for the incoming driver to wipe the bottom of his boots on, Nick.
Well done.
Here again, like Daly, Chip Robinson, and Jeff Brabham. Yeah, drove that car in period. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the IMSA car, the MPTI car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That must have raced at Daytona.
Now the From Air car in as well.
Phil Quaif's jumping in. This good peddler, Phil.
Yep.
I saw Phil on the way out on Thursday at Eurotunnel, and he was very, very focused. In fairness, he'd been in the car. I'd seen him a couple of times on the road down. He was in a Range Rover Sport. I don't know who he was with because he wasn't driving, but he was very, very focused on in Eurotunnel. And even though I said hello to him, didn't notice me at all because he was going straight to the lavatory.
Oh, I took my Turner to an old car meet to the pub about 3 weeks ago, and there was his dad.
Yeah?
His dad's massively into old motorbikes these days. Mike, yeah. And of course he built one with the Quaif GT.
Yeah. I've still got that, haven't
It is hiding at the moment. I believe that Phil's setting up a bigger preparations business he's got, and it's going to go there. But at the moment it's at ATL, at the fuel cell place. It's been parked there because
testing, is it?
Well, all these cars are there actually. Giles Dawson, who runs that, is a friend of his.
So waiting for the time to elapse. That car pulls out the pit lane. Oh, my goodness.
Those are run by Aaron Scott, aren't they?
Yeah,
Scott Sport, I think. Yeah.
I mean, this is just glory for me. My first Le Mans was '89, which was the Mercedes year. 1990, the Jag won it again.
The same behind my hand to Nick. Mine was 1965, and I was working there.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
And who won?
60.
Jochen Rindt.
Really?
Yeah.
And I knew him as well, so it was nice. Well, it was first time I went to Le Mans. They made me go in '65, motoring news. I think I might have been 20. I didn't want to go. I was a single seater. It was only Formula One was all that mattered. Le Mans, they just went slowly. I was an endurance race. I'm not interested in that. Anyway, you got to go. I came back. I loved it ever since.
Yeah.
You've never done it, have you? Obviously, you haven't done a main race. That's a shame. Really.
Yeah, that was always the dream to do.
Yeah.
Just trying to raise the funds to do it. And actually, a few years ago, I did it in a 2005 classic GT3 RSR. And for me, it was like, well, actually, I'm here now. I'm going them all. So
enjoy that.
No, the balls are straight.
The car.
Raise the money to do it.
Yeah.
So it was quite cool.
Yeah, good.
Interesting to see how those pit stops went.
Well, we'll let everybody cycle through, and I'll do another rundown.
Yeah, well, I see.
I think you have to be a very odd person, even if you're not interested in motorsport, to go to Le Mans, Nick, and not be moved by it as an event, as a happening. There's something special about it, isn't there?
And that part of, I think,
that was part of it.
Amazing.
That part of France is so nice as well. You know.
And the green bottles. Do you remember them?
Yes.
It's probably stopped now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Right, I think that the pit lane's window's just closed. Yes, it has. So the Nissan now leads, the 83, the Olivier Gallant car, ahead of the Phil Kadori 69 Porsche in second. These are all C1 cars, C1A cars. The Landudis Mercedes is in third position. I'm just going to refresh the screen just to make sure I'm not talking complete nonsense, because the Gallant car's just come out of the pit. Yeah, okay. Then coming out in the C3 battle is the 962C. It's another Group C car, the 1990 car. That's the Ivan Verkutre car, and the James Thorpe car is 17 seconds further back. In C2, Cal Meeker in the Spice still leads. He's in 7th overall. That's the C2 A class. The Invitational class is the other Spice, the 88C from 1988, and that is in 8th position overall. And the C1B, no, that's the March, that's still in the pit lane. In fact, all of the C1 be runners. Rainer Becker didn't start in that 956. So, yeah, so neither of those are running at the moment. I reckon...
Oh,
hello, we've got a...
no, that's a Spice, I think. Is it?
Yeah, where's that? With that much on the outside. Turn 5 and 6. So that's... right, I see where it is now. It's the other side of Les Combes.
Yeah.
He's right in the middle of the road at Les Combes. I thought, hello, that's odd.
He's got no lock on it. Oh, he's going to go back.
He's going to try and roll it backwards.
He's got to get it out. He's got some lock on and fine.
Go on. Just let it roll. Let it roll. Don't get it high centered on the curb. Oh, that's all right. And here comes the Blaupunkt Porsche with only one properly working headlight.
So he stuck his name on the side of that.
Yeah. I talked about this the other day, that there were so many Porsches. You know, we are really blessed nowadays, Nick, in top class sports car racing, either in the ACO version, the WEC, or indeed an excellent, that number 29.
That was Carl Meeker.
Carl Meeker, so the leader in his class, the C2, he's got himself good again.
Scott, look, concentrating.
Yeah, look at that.
I've known him for so long. Really good guy.
We are so fortunate that we've got so much variety, because when I first started going to Le Mans late 80s, early 90s, you know, there were a lot of Porsches. There were a lot of GT Porsches, but even at the front of the field, it was like a Porsche Group C race. And you would say, there's the Shell Porsche, there's the Blaupunkt Porsche, because they were just all Porsches. Kenwood, car. Yeah, great stuff.
So Gallant's doing a great job here, isn't he? He's pulled away from the rest of the field. He's kept it clean thus far, and obviously he lucked it a bit right at the beginning, probably with the brake problem that Dudy's had. Look, Dudy's come back a bit, hasn't he, to third, look.
Yeah.
And I think he might be closing in a bit on Condori. And they say, look, Phil Quaife just moved up a spot.
Yeah. We see Keeney getting in a car, or is he getting out?
He's in the E-Type, isn't he?
He's in an E-Type, yeah.
After this.
Right, lap times then. The Kalmika has dropped a second, by the way. He's behind the Tiger of Andres Josefsson.
Yeah, he's going well. Actually, I haven't really given him a mention. Don't know too much about him. But he's doing a fine job there leading that category.
Lendudis has just done his and the car's fastest lap of the race, and he's closed in within 1.5 seconds of second place. So it's Nissan, Porsche, Mercedes. So we have got a bit of variety.
We got a battle for second place. No question.
When's the last time you said that?
Probably here last year, actually. But is that good?
Yeah, that's really good. Nice variety there.
Yeah.
So is it going to be dry for the 60s race?
Oh, no, I'm afraid it's not.
USEC, look at that.
The lights on the Cobra don't seem too good, so it's
No. Brilliant stuff. And it's dark here in places, isn't it? There's not a lot of lighting round about there.
Which Cobra are you in, Nick?
With Tony Sinclair, the Crown Racing car.
Yeah.
Tony's going to start, and then.
Oh, that's the car that won the European Championship with Chris Craft in it years ago.
That's the Lola for the CR2.
Oh, that's what. Oh, that. Yeah.
But you're right. That won the European Championship. This is a position, is it? Phil Quaife's call.
Yeah.
Phil has.
Yeah.
Oh no. What's happened there?
Mr. Gear can do in these. That's the other.
Yeah, you can do that.
See, I think every racing driver now, as part of getting their license, should still have to be able to prove that they can heel and tow. You still need, sometimes you might need to do it, even if you've got a clever car. Got to have that mechanical sympathy.
Look at that. That is
just Porsche. Look at that. Yeah.
Just doesn't get any better than that, does it? I can't really think of anything to say that would add to this.
And there's Quaife, look, isn't they? Yellow, presume it raced in Japan, that car.
Did the front car.
Yeah.
Another Moto Historics car as well.
Yeah.
I think that's just had quite a long rebuild. They seem to put a lot on social media.
Yes.
And they have the ovals as well.
Lots of flames spitting out.
low cloud coming in down the valley again when looking back from Speaker's Corner. The car's running on the Avon tyres, of course. The Avon, now the preferred supplier. And great success story that the guys who all work for Avon have managed to keep that going. They bought up the original stock of tyres and now starting to remanufacture those under the name Nova, because that was how it looked when they came out in the moulds. Avon is Nova backwards. And huge sideways slide, luring out the bus stop.
Where's that yellow cloth?
Yeah. It looks. Do you know what? It looks like somebody out on a Saturday night who's put that film over your screen that changes the colour. And there's the Mercedes right behind him now in the battle for second. And we've got a slow car on track, and that is Phil Quaife in the Nissan. So there's something not quite right with that number 27 Nissan. It goes and then it's not for Phil. Huge sideways slide coming for the car with the Japanese writing. We have Tokyo Drift in 3, 2, 1.
Good man. All done on purpose, of course.
Yeah, just for the cameras.
Shame,
Marvellous to Philip Kadiri. That's the second place car.
Yeah, I wonder what's happened. Is Quaife's car just limping now?
Well, there's yellows at the moment being shown down at the first part of Pouhon. I'm trying to see the tracker, but my eyes aren't that good at this time of day.
Yeah, we're into the last 8 minutes right now.
I don't think anybody's going to catch Olivier Gallant.
Unlikely, I'd say.
But this second place.
Yeah, but Kadori's pulled a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Slide.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I've got to get on with this now. Flames. See that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I remember. This is absolutely what I remember. We're not going quick enough to see the heated up brake discs because obviously it's so cold. But flames out the exhaust, different noises from the engine. The Mercedes used to rattle your sternum as it went through with that low thud of the V8. Big screaming turbos and flames.
Bit of a shout out, really. We haven't mentioned at the car running in 6th place, the 111. Two Argentine guys come all the way from Argentina to race here in their Spice 1988 car. Alessandro and Facundo Chawan. Doesn't sound a very Argentine name to me, but anyway, they're doing a good job. Look at their nose nice and clean. Phil's race still shown in 7th place.
Don't want to go off there. Did you see that?
That was coming through Blanchimont, wasn't it?
7 minutes.
Yeah.
Look at the cloth, look.
He's got the cloth up.
Yeah.
Turn the gearbox and cleaning the screen.
And his mirror's full of a Mercedes.
Poor guy, because that's so annoying that, because it's getting harder and harder to
see.
What a shame.
And the thing is, once it starts, it's not going to go away. It is not going to go away.
Monday's got to go back to winning the Peninsula Hotel Group.
Is that what he does?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That family basically own half of Hong Kong.
Right.
But they do run the Peninsula Hotel Group. And he's just taken over from his dad as the CEO. And a great hotel too.
He's doing a really good job. I'm not sure. How is he seeing the apices of the corner?
Apices, I like that.
I mean, he's just not.
Really, really hard.
Yeah.
Once again, battle at the end of the.
Yeah, so that's the Argentine guys, and then second of those cars.
Yeah, in the 111.
There's a bit of action, isn't there, all the way through?
Yeah, there is.
The conditions are really, really bad, but there's still a few battles.
Well, that's nice. Two Spices battling it out together.
And in their mind, they're at the Spa-Francorchamps back in 1988.
Yeah, but
that's what the state of mind is, isn't it? I bet you do that, don't you?
Yeah.
When you were at Le Mans. Leaders off.
Mate.
At Brussels. Down at Rivage, gets it back together. He's got traffic ahead now.
Yeah.
These are dangerous times for the second place car, should I say. The leader is the Nissan still ahead.
It's going to get a bit busy.
So difficult to see in these conditions. Now he's going down inside to lap that car.
That's at the first part of Pouhon. And Mercedes taking a slightly wide line there as well. And that was the two Spices that we saw a moment or two ago. Yeah. And they've split up a little bit. This is incredible. And we should just mention, by the way, for those of you going, well, you know, they're a bit off their qualifying times. There's no ABS and no traction control. And what, 800 horsepower conservatively? Even
just touch the throttle like that, spinning up. So you're trying to control that. It really doesn't really want to be in a straight.
No.
It wants to have big skids everywhere. So fair play for 40 minutes to keep it on the tarmac.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say this track's fairly close to we shouldn't be running.
I think
well, we haven't had any incidents, have we?
No. Yeah. I think that the actual state of the track, given how much water is being cleared, is all. Yeah, here he goes. That's Clough.
With him doing it.
Yeah, he's got some. There's a riding mechanic.
As you're braking.
Yes.
Doing that.
Oh, he's lost it.
Lost it. And he's
first gear. Like it.
Oh, he just lose his second place.
My goodness, that's the penultimate lap.
There, though,
keeping that off the wall. And he remembered to reverse the lock when he was going backwards, and he was still wiping the window. That's incredible.
As soon as he gets out the car.
That was superb. Superb. So incredible. The difference between triumph and disaster in these cars is a millimetre or 2 millimetres, a flex of your toe on the throttle, isn't it, Nick?
This isn't over.
No, it's not.
Sure, we've got like 4 minutes. Let's see. Look at this, just jumping on the curb. And I bet you we couldn't see the exit.
No, correct. Look at the way, there's when he reversed the lock, and that stops the front end coming round. Yeah. It's really hard to remember that. Yeah, but he's not a million miles back. Now, the 00 is in the pit lane. That's okay. Don't worry. That's pit lane behaviour.
What does that mean? Pit lane behaviour.
The car was a bit naughty in the pit lane. I don't know. Did it leak something?
Well, that was Klaus Abelin.
Yeah.
They've taken the car away now.
Right. So Lendudis Lee is in second now. Olivier Gallant still leads. This is not over for second. It is absolutely not over for second, as we're waiting for that pink Porsche to come through. It'll be the last lap next time by, I reckon, for the leader. And the leader is just coming through Stavelot, into Stavelot now. No, I'll take that back. The leader is... Yes, no, I was right. Just coming up to Stavelot now. Oh, I tell you what. He's further around the track than I've... No, they'll give him it this lap round because we're a little bit over time at the moment.
See that? He's trying, definitely.
That Mercedes is not secure. And Philip Kaduri then will be absolutely raging with himself, but he's got to get his heart rate down. He's got to get his concentration going. He's got to remember to wipe the window. I mean, it's ridiculous to have to say that, but he's obviously got to place every lap where they're doing it, where they think it's the right place to do it. And this is a predominantly right-handed track, so you want to be able to see out the right corner, but there's some left hands as well, so you've got to reach over to the other side so you can see.
Isn't it?
Oh, basic. You wouldn't want to do that if you were sitting in traffic on the M25.
I'm definitely going to go and shake his hand.
No, outstanding.
We all should.
Absolutely outstanding. So this is the final lap.
Last 90 seconds, John, before they put the flag out.
Well, they're on the final lap now.
Yeah.
The leader went through, and they did put the last lap board out. 17 seconds between first and second. Kaduri has dropped 12 seconds with that rotation. He's safe in third, and those will be the top three in some order in C1, because there's many a slip, slide, aquaplanage.
Is that a word?
Still happen? Yes, it is.
It is
on the motorways.
It is now.
Absolutely. Caution, aquaplanage. It's horrible when that happens as well, because everything in your whole psyche, brain, muscle memory wants to press the brake harder, and you've got to come off the brake, haven't you?
Stop.
Yeah.
Right, Nick Padmore's going to leave us. Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your race.
Yeah,
Enjoyed
look,
that.
we'll be watching you.
Thank you.
Cheers, man. Great to have Nick with us. Great insights again. And we'll have his race coming up after the break. We're going to leave the cameras up for the break, but we're going to nip off for a pit stop of our own. And you'll be able to see some of the cars going around. It's a couple of parade laps. But right now, Olivier Gallant, well, Gallant in French means knight, K-N-I-G-H. And this is undoubtedly a performance that we'll be calling him Sir afterwards. So it is a knight-like performance.
Well, he's in the perfume industry, but I believe he's a chemist. But, you know.
Oh, really? Right.
Yeah, and he certainly found the alchemy today, hasn't he?
Oh, very good. Yeah, he's got the...
And he's got to be careful just lapping these slower cars.
Well, he's lift off now.
Yeah,
Leave it. No need. No.
Good job by Keep Europe as well, preparing the car.
And there is the checkered flag for the Nissan from 1990. That was an object lesson in wet weather driving. Craig Lindoudis lost it at the first corner, dropped down as far as 4th or 5th at one stage, gets back to 2nd, and Philip Kadori, well, brave stuff from Philip.
Yeah, buy him a bottle of Rain-X, I say.
Oh.